Then there's this book. This game-breaking, crazy, over-the-top book. Gives you a bunch of new backgrounds and like character archetypes. This is definitely a PC book. Like, not PC, politically correct, because well, it probably is, but Xanathar's Guide to Everything is geared at D&D players. Not so much at the Dungeon Master, but by introducing a bunch of new things that players can do, your DM's got to buy this too if the players are going to be using this. Because there's some advanced stuff for some expanded stuff, I should say, on like the character archetypes. So you've got fighters, for example. This is the page that opened here. Fighters, now you can be, not only can be just a champion or a battle master or an eldritch knight. Now you can be a samurai or a cavalier or an arcane archer. Don't care for the arcane archer. It's not my thing. Very specific, somebody created it years ago and they love it, and I'm just not that into it. But samurai is cool. However, I don't think that it's super great in this book. It's just a flavor thing. And it doesn't really give you anything super unique that a samurai would be able to do, or a cavalier, even for that matter. It's not really. It's whatever. There's monk. There's some new monk classes here. You got your drunken master. You got your sun soul, I think, is another one, and the kensei. Kensei is kind of like a weapon wielding monk, and that's cool. And it's they get the ability to use like cooler weapons and stuff, and they get some fun stuff they can do for the weapons. So the kensei is cool. Even the drunken master is pretty cool, just because you kind of just like stumble into combat and punch a couple people and then just roll out of there because you're all pretending to be drunk or however that works. Paladins have got some new ones, some new oaths or whatever. Still not 100% comfortable with how paladins are nowadays, with the no restrictions on them, really. Like, yeah, the oath says, oh, you've got to uphold the thing of the week, and it's all interpretive, and it's all, like, subjective, and it's just so people can play their evil anti-paladin that they've always wanted for 30 years. Yeah, the edgelord, that's what everybody wants, right? The fallen paladin, the dark outcast, whatnot. People want to do that. Whatever. Then you got rangers and rogues and blah, 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 and you got all different types of all different types of new templates for your character class. It's got new stuff about backgrounds. It's got Dungeon Master's tools. So they throw you a bone here, DMs. Dungeon Master's tools just simplifies and clarifies a few things. Stuff about tools, proficiencies, and boring ass crap that who cares about. And then they waste this bizarre thing. This whole page. See, this is a little critique of this book, actually. Check that out. See, like it's got like dice stacked on a grid, right there, and it's like, here's how you can plot out your area of effect spells. I want to cast a cone, and kind of this sort of configuration. Here's my character casting this spell. Well, all you need to do is lay out all these fucking dice and say, okay, anybody, because you got to move all the miniatures out of the way too, otherwise you wouldn't be casting this spell. Like why the fuck would you want to lay dice out over that? Like, why does it show you that? I don't get it. Like, what a waste. And that's like an entire space there. Like, first of all, I'm encouraging you to buy like 30 six-sided dice, which I've already got, but still, what a pain in the ass. I'm not going to clear my grid and then, okay, I can't remember who was here. I can't remember who was here because I had to put all these fucking dice in the way. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Cut out a piece of cardboard and just lay it over. Like, you can even make, like I've made, like a little clear plastic little template, and then I just use a crayon to color it in red, and here you go. There's a cone of fire. What the fuck would I lay dice on there? I mean, I guess the point of it is that, like, okay, well, here it is using each die takes up like a 1 inch square. So first of all, you gotta have like jumbo dice to be able to do this. I don't know. It's just the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Here you go. Well, actually, they even show exactly what I was talking about at the top of this page. Yeah, use a cardboard template. Or, alternatively, you could use dice. And there's like... What a waste. Talk about padding the book, man. Yeah, and there's some other shit about... Anyway, what I'm getting at is... This book is great for players. If you're a player, get this book. Because there's probably a bunch of options in there you'd really like that are like way different than what's in the... Well, not way different, but, you know, might be more suitable to you than the stuff that's in the player's handbook. But when it comes to the Dungeon Master, okay, you got to have those so that you can adjudicate how that player is using those things. And you've got to understand how it works, so you should probably buy the book. But then they give you this shit, and like, come on, man. And there's... They do give you some new random encounter stuff, which is kind of cool, by terrain type and by challenge rating. That's okay. That's pretty good. That is valuable for a Dungeon Master, so maybe it's not total shit. Traps Revisited. It's kind of neat. It was interesting. I didn't retain much from that, but I mean, as a DM running a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons game, you're probably going to, at one time, be expected to provide, like, traps, or you're going to find, even in a published adventure, there's going to be some traps. How do you deal with those? How do you make your own? Maybe changing it a bit, or making it cooler, or, yeah, making your own for your own pre-written, or your own homebrew adventure. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's... yeah, some good info. Like I said, I didn't retain much of it, but it's there when I need it. Yeah, some stuff about magical items, crafting magical items, awarding magical items. I think, yeah, magic item tables. Okay. And then spells. Here's a big one, too. The minute that this book hit our D&D campaign, people were using these spells. There are some amazing spells that are way better than their appropriate level in the player's handbook. Specifically, what was that one called? It was like I think it was a druid spell. First level, second level. Healing Spirit. That's a game-breaking spell, if you ask me. Basically, you have like a static... Where is it? Because I mean, don't get me wrong. I was a player in said campaign, and I benefited from this spell quite a bit. Okay. A bonus action. You call forth spirit lasts up to a minute concentration. You call forth a spirit to soothe the wounded. The intangible spirit appears in a space that is 5 foot cube. That is a 5 foot cube you can see. 5 foot cube you can see within range. The spirit looks like a transparent beast or fey. Until the spell ends, whenever you or a creature you can see moves into the spirit space. So basically, it's like a static thing that you put on the board that your druid, I think it's a druid spell. Yeah, it's like basically you can say, okay, this spot on the board on the combat grid is going to contain my healing spirit. It's like as if you could break the game any more than with healing word. I don't know. So it's a bonus action, and all you got to do is concentrate on it. That's not as easy as it sounds sometimes. Hang on. Healing Spirit, totally OP. There's another one, Dance Macabre, which is like a necromantic spell and it raises the dead. Never mind, but that's pretty OP as well. If you're a player, get this. It's going to give you a bunch of new stuff you can do in your game. Hopefully your DM is going to be okay with having to probably buy this too. Or be willing to share it with them.